Welcome, West Orange, to our May 9th council meeting. It's the 9th meeting of the year. Our next meeting will be May 23rd. Let's move quickly to the conference agenda. Madam Clerk.
This is to inform the general public that this meeting is being held in compliance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975. The annual notice was emailed to the Star Ledger and filed in the Township Clerk's office on November 28, 2016, and published in the West Orange Chronicle on December 8, 2016. Councilwoman Castellino?
Present.
Councilman Cirillo?
Present.
Councilman Guarino?
Present.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Present.
Council President Krakowiak?
Present. The start of the conference agenda, Ms. DEENA Rubin of the Shuttle Advocates of Redwood and Pleasantdale has asked for a spot on the conference agenda to show a 9-minute video. And Ms. Rubin, did you want to introduce it first? Or, okay, please come forward.
Hi, everybody. My name is DEENA Rubin. I live at 6 McCluskey Court in West Orange. I am the originator of SHARP, which is now the name for the shuttle advocating for Redwood and Pleasantdale. So first, please, I want to say a huge thank you to everybody here who has taken time, effort, and a lot of grease, elbow grease, to get this new jitney service to our parts of town instituted and budgeted, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. On a personal level and a business level, this is a huge, huge fait accompli for the town and for everybody in it. So thank you for all your hard work. I come here tonight to discuss and once again advocate for our committee called SHARP, as I said, the Shuttle Advocates for Redwood and Pleasantdale, to be able to sit and discuss the most effective and efficient route for the new jitney service being provided to our parts of town. As you know, I've been talking to and working with Mayor Parisi and the town council members for over 2 years on this jitney service. We are now at a pivotal point in the process, which brings me here tonight.
Thank you.
God bless.
Sorry.
In May of 2016, we advocated for and were delighted when we heard the mayor approved a new jitney for the Redwood and Pleasantdale part of town in his 2017 budget meeting. Time and time again, I have, and as a group, asked to be included and for a meeting with the administration working on the route to sit down with our committee, who spent tireless amounts of energy and hours driving, calculating, and working on train schedules from various stations to come up with a proposed route for the administration's consideration. Time and time again, I was told, we're working on it, but government moves very slowly. And when the time comes, we will reach out to you and your committee. After the last meeting, this past March of 2017, I followed up with an email to Mr. Sayers and Mr. Lepore on March 15th. I have a copy of that for all of you sitting here. I will read that email to you. Hi, gentlemen. Thank you again for your support of the Pleasantdale Redwood Jitney Shuttle service. The Town Council meeting last Tuesday evening, March 7th, was overwhelmingly positive, and we are all excited to see the route come to fruition and be a huge boost for all of the New York City commuters in Pleasantdale and Redwood. I would like to invite you to meet with myself and my committee to sit down next week, anytime 3:19 through 3:24, in the council chambers or at my home, 6 McCluskey Court, Monday or Wednesday after 8 p.m., Tuesday, Wednesday after 6:30 p.m., or any morning before 8:30 a.m. to discuss the route options, timing, and cost, park and ride options, and train schedules from a few stations that would best accommodate the New York City commuters. I have attached the route again for your convenience that our committee worked on last spring. I sent the proposed route schedule to everyone that was on the town council last year, as well as all the administrators involved. We proposed 5 round trips, which reflect the same number of routes already in place in Gregory and St. Cloud and Bel Air Townhouse community. We have worked tirelessly on this and would so much appreciate your working together with us to determine the best route for this additional Pleasantdale and Redwood section. I look forward to hearing back from you soon to coordinate on a mutually convenient time and place to meet. Let's make sure what happened last week doesn't happen again, and I look forward to keeping the lines of communication open. Thank you so much. That's DEENA Rubin. The response a few days later, the following week on March 21st was, "Good afternoon, Ms. Rubin. I received both of your emails and I appreciate your input in developing a 6-jitney route. However, Jack Sayers and I will not be able to meet with you anytime soon as we are still in the process of developing a workable plan for this new route. When the plan is completed, we will be happy to contact you and set up a meeting to discuss it with you and the task force. Thank you again, Lenny Laporte." On that note, please see the video that we as a community have put together to encourage you to work with us and sit with us and to have our input as commuters, homeowners, and taxpayers taken into consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Rubin. We'll just take a quick break to set up, and it's a 9-minute video, and then we'll hit the lights again.
This was a team effort, and I'm proud to be part of such an active team of people who are just trying to help our community not only survive, but to thrive.
About 18 months ago, when a number of us started thinking about the opportunity for Jitney, I became very involved in really figuring out what the best route to be for West Orange as a whole, and particularly the Redwood and Pleasantdale sections of West Orange. And then part of what that entailed was talking to a number of my colleagues and people I don't know that take the train, interviewing them, understanding where they'd be coming from, what the most convenient path would be for them to have a Jitney. It took a fair amount of effort, meeting with a number of them, as well as spending time driving different routes, going on a computer, mapping out different potential routes, to think about what the most convenient route would be, but also what the most cost-effective route would be. Trying to make sure that we're not having too many more stops. We spent a lot of time looking at how many stops the other jitneys have, making sure we're not having any more than they have or any less than they have, making sure that we're finding a path that the jitney can take so it'll be an efficient loop. And really what we're looking for now is continuing that process, working with the town in order to make it a collaborative effort. So we're able to give them the benefit of the knowledge that we have in the last 18 months of putting the jitney together. We can get their perspective and collaborate in order to come up with a jitney that works for everybody.
We're commuters, and the ones who sat down and did their due diligence on this route, ran the route time-wise, looked at the proposed schedules, those are the people who need to be heard. What we're being told is that we appreciate all of that, but we are not going to consider your proposed route. And we thank you for your time. We are going to hear from them when the route is already done and inked.
So I'm really excited to hear that we're getting a route. I think it's really important that whoever's figuring out what that route is really works with the actual commuters themselves, people like me and my friends who actually are going to the city every day. Because if they're not working closely with us, we're spending all this time creating a route, then it just doesn't work for us. We're not going to use it. So as excited as I am about the jitney, I really want to make sure that our voices are being heard, and the commuters like myself from this side of town can make sure that the route that's set up can serve us.
It is not the commuters, it is commuters that spend almost a third, sometimes more, on their day under the conditions and the options and the availability of one way or another to get to the city. But that's what should impact the decision, and it has to equal on where and how this should be done.
Now that I found out that Mayor Parisi is signing off on a jitney for our particular neighborhood, I really think it's time that he sits down with our particular community and figures out the route which is best for the people in this specific area. so many people put so much work into trying to arrange this jitney to commute to New York, and it would really be tragic if we didn't have say in the route. It wouldn't be as useful if we were not able to help with the decision making on the route that will take to transportation.
I would really like to see, before the town comes up with a route, that there be an opportunity for citizens who live in this area and would be using this potential future service to at least give some input into what routes the town can follow.
So we just actually had a weekend here where we had 17 young couples with young children come to check out West Orange, and they really loved it. It was great for us to be able to show it to them. But the number one question that I was asked is, do you work at the city and how's the commute? And, you know, they heard about the jitney, they were very excited, but then the whole question came up of, well, am I going to be able to actually use it?
So the jitney would be a community service, in essence. So the community should definitely be part of it. That is that it's such a shame and unfortunate to go through all this upward planning and without getting input from everyone in the West Orange community that's affected by it.
I was very encouraged to hear about the possibility of having a jitney that would take us to the New Jersey Transit. However, I am concerned about where the pickups will take place, and I'm hoping that the town allows us, those of us who are going to be using the jitney, to have input as to where the pickups and the fines will take us are concerned.
As with all movements, it's important to get stakeholders involved. Having comment on where is the best drop-offs, where is pickups, where will we park, and how this is all going to work in a effective way. We need to know this from the people that are going to do it.
Now that I move on into the next chapter in my life, which will require me now looking for a new place to live, it wouldn't even be a registered thought that I would go to a place that didn't have easy access to the city.
I'm considering taking a job in Manhattan in the next month or so, and if I have access to Manhattan readily available to me, that becomes a lot easier for me to stay as a resident of West Orange. And if my children who are currently back in college will be working in Manhattan as well, again, it's very important to have that access. Without that access, we're going to have to consider whether or not West Orange is a place for us to continue to reside.
I feel that they need to take the input of the community and the people who actually will be using the jitney and who do commute. They need to take their input and their advice, because we're the ones who use it and we know best where we need to go, when stops there are important. Otherwise, what's the point of going through this if it doesn't actually end up helping us in the end?
but also it makes the areas where there is jitney service more attractive to potential home buyers, which tends to support higher property values, certainly. We also should be talking about as you go, and we should get the people who are going to be benefiting from this service, who have spent more than a year looking at it, to have a voice in consideration of the actual logistics of the service, where the stops are going to be, what the timetables are, where they're going.
We are taxpayers and we want to be heard. We are also professionals with expertise. And we know that what we worked on is compelling and has value. And what we want is to be heard and to be considered and not to be dismissed.
And it came genuinely from a really sensitive place. Obviously, you could tell that no one needed to be prompted to say their piece. I put it out to, many people in our Redwood and Pleasantdale community and asked for people to come and just, say their opinion, and this was unprovoked. And as you can see, there are 16 people on this video, and there are many more that we didn't want to extend the time of the video, but there were many more that we could have included. So this is just a sampling of, the community and their thoughts and feelings about inclusion and, participation. And on that note, why am I here? What do I need the town council members to do? You might be asking, well, we've already gotten the jitney in place, and the budget has approved it, and we're good to go. So why am I here? So I'm asking each one of the town council members that at this meeting to please say whether you are in favor of our committee, the SHARP Shuttle Advocates for Redwood and Pleasantdale, to have a sit-down with the administration to discuss and plan the most effective and efficient route for these two areas. I'm asking you that question. I know that comes later at the end of the meeting, so that's my question. If the answer is yes, which I hope it is, please make it known and advocate for us to Mayor Parisi and his administration the need to sit down together with our community and collaborate on this route. I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Rubin. Yes, Councilman Cirillo.
Council President, I just want to start off by saying that I think that the question has been answered. The presenter provided us with an email asking to meet with the administration with respect to creating a route. The groundwork has been done by the advocate group, and the administration is currently in the process of creating that draft route. As a matter of fact, it's not going to be ready until a few months from now, per my research and my conversations with the administration, Council President. In this email, it says that once that plan, that draft has been put together, the administration will be in touch with Ms. Rubin and her advocacy group to confirm, to assure that that route meets the best interest of the neighborhood. So I don't see how we haven't met that, the administration or the Township of West Orange has met that commitment. I want to go on record by saying that I've been advocating, and some of my council members here have been advocating for years and years and years about this shuttle and extending or adding an extra line to this shuttle. And it makes us real happy to see that there's taxpayers out there that will be using the shuttle, that are interested in the shuttle and want to give input. However, I'm trying to hold back my feelings, okay? Because this is a bit slanderous, okay? Because Mayor Parisi has an impeccable record of working with our community groups. For example, we've had issues at the Valley, in the Valley section. We've met with neighbors there. We've had issues in St. Cloud. We've met with neighbors there. If we reach out to Mayor Parisi, I'm sure that he'd be willing to meet with any resident and any group that wishes to extend input and feedback on some of the policy proposals that are being put into place, Council President. I sit here and you know, I'm in shock, okay? The administration in that email has said, once the draft is ready, we'll meet with residents. We just went through that experience in the St. Cloud section of the town, where Mayor Parisi met many times with the residents in the neighborhood to make sure that the policy proposal that was put into place met the needs of the neighborhood. The shuttle is not going to stop in front of everybody's door in the neighborhood. However, we're going to find, the administration is going to find, and the council is going to provide input to make sure that the best plan that will meet the benefits and the needs of our community population will move forward. That draft plan is not ready yet. That email says once the draft plan is ready, Ms. Rubin and the advocate group will be contacted in order to get that feedback and look at those routes and look at that input in order to finalize the shuttle service. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Before we move on, I don't want to cut out Mr. Sayers or I don't think Mr. Lepore is here, but did you want to respond? I don't want to.
No, I'll let you guys respond.
Okay, so please, Councilwoman.
Okay.
So I have two reactions. One is that when our council president thoughtfully asked if we can view this video this evening, I don't know if he shared my email with you, but I said emphatically no, because I feel that through public comment here, everyone knew that we were moving in this direction, that we do want the shuttle. It is in the budget. The engineer at one point at one of our meetings talked about the plan, and I'm sorry if you felt that you were being dismissed, but I don't read that in those emails also, so and I'm sorry if that happened. So I'm thinking, you know, yes, of course I would support a community meeting. I believe the engineer is the person that drafts the route, and then we would have, or the community would have their say and weigh in to see if it is feasible. And the reason I guess I had said emphatically no was that I felt that we are moving in this direction and that you do have the support of the entire council. I think that's unanimous. And maybe, I don't know if there's other emails involved, but I do know that the mayor, myself, Jack, I was able to arrange a meeting with Wilshire Grand. They have always been so gracious. There's discussions in place right now about commuter parking. So there's even more happening that, again, the plan is not in place. And I think I was going to cite, I know I was going to cite the same example that my colleague, Mr. Cirillo, used about St. Cloud, because we just finished that with Ridgeway Avenue. That took years. I don't want this to take years, but the St. Cloud property took years in the making. But the mayor had periodic open public meetings on that site on Ridgeway. When the plan is in place, I agree. When the plan is in place, it can certainly be discussed. And I'm sorry if you felt dismissed in any way, but that was not what I read from these emails. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody?
Yeah.
Councilwoman?
Thank you, everyone, for coming down tonight and for all those who were on the video. Yeah, I feel bad that you all feel like you're dismissed, but I'm also confused why. I thought we've been very proactive with arranging for the vehicle. We just passed our budget last month, or actually we're still in the process of passing our budget. And DEENA, I've been talking to you step by step. I mean, every time you call me, I've called you back. I've been updated. I called the administration. So I'm a little bit disappointed because I had also very transparent in explaining to you whether, what got passed along and what didn't, is that it takes slow, but because there's a reason for it. The budget doesn't go into place till after July. It's just a priority. I kept being in touch with Mr. Lepore to see when he was going to be working on this. And he was working in bits and pieces. What you folks don't realize is it's very challenging to go from the Pleasantdale and Redwood area down 280. If you travel 280 every morning like I do, there's traffic. And it's not an easy route. And I'm very appreciative to all the input that was given. But at the end of the day, And we said this time and time again, the engineer has to configure traffic, so, or allow for traffic, because you can't, like, you're not going to be the one person who wants to be on the jitney stop waiting and it's 15 minutes. So it has to be very precise. He has to go different times during the year to look at this because there's different traffic patterns. I know in the summer, traffic is wonderful going down 280 in the morning because, you know, school is out. So to accommodate what you've been saying is being worked on. I know it's not there yet, and a lot of folks are impatient, and people are buying houses. They want to know sooner than later. But, you know, it is what it is, and I know they've been working on. I myself has been asking for a little more data, and it's going to be, you know, announced when the mayor has it ready. His doors are open on Thursday nights. Any one of you could go there. He'll talk to you and explain it to you. I know he's been in touch with the Schools as well as Wilshire and trying to do park and rides and trying to get that accommodated because, again, it's maximizing the usage. You're not going to get as many stops over by Gregory only because of logistics, because the Gregory section compared to South Orange is a shorter commute. I believe you wanted to go to Orange or East Orange Brick Church train station. So in order to accommodate all the requests that were made, and I believe you gave a presentation, DEENA, to the administration early on. So they've been working with all the requests, and they've been, you know, utilizing the data, and hopefully it will be unveiled soon, which I know it will be soon, and the details will be, you know, hopefully will be discussed in a community meeting. I always support community meetings. I have no problem with them. I spent the better part of last year, you know, in conversations with the people that lived around Gregory School, and feel they're important. But again, it's the administration. They know how we feel about this, and I think they've been very gracious in working and trying to accommodate the area, the neighbors in both sections. And I guess that's it for now. So thank you folks for, you know, coming down the video. As far as the video, I was glad. I also wish the rest of us had an opportunity to speak on it, so I could see. But, you know, I had no problem with showing the video. And thank you again for coming down. Council President.
Thank you. Could I slip Councilman speak first? He wanted to follow up, I guess, but
I'll just do it quickly. Okay. Thank you, Council President. Thank you, my colleagues. Thank you for the presentation this evening. The thing about it is, you know, we've always advocated, particularly I've always said, that the shuttle was the most productive investment, the most return on investment for our tax dollar for the entire township of West Orange, with our home sales, the community, and it's all part of being built into complete streets and safe streets. That's part of what the shuttle does too. The thing to go about is that saying that we've always been here. We love community meetings. Remember, my colleagues and I have always been the advocates for getting the shuttle. I spoke to you, DEENA, 2 years ago. I got your budget numbers. I explained it. So it's been there, and I think the shuttle is a very, very, very important thing. Looking at the region of Pleasantdale, Redwood, it's totally different than the other layouts of the other communities in West Orange, particularly Gregory and St. Cloud. It's a wider open space. But the thing about it is that's why we have a township engineer, and that's why we have traffic engineers who do this type of thing. You know, just writing down and timing and everything else, that doesn't really cut the whole thing of what the trip will really do. You need the experts who are traffic engineers and who know the infrastructure and what's going to happen. As you know, Councilman Castellino and Councilman McCartney said, you know, different times of the year, 280 and all the other things, traffic changes up and down. And I can't wait for the shuttle to be implemented. We look forward to your input. But, you know, it would have been nice if you would have came to all of us, you know, with your presentation, you know, and to show that, you know, all of us do support you. You know, we voted, we approved it as part of our budget presentation. So we're there, and we want to see it work. We want it to be, you know, to be as good as it works in all the other areas of West Orange. We want our residents to feel they don't want to use their car, they want to park, be my guest. I think it's a great thing. So, but, you know, we appreciate your input. We look, like I said, I enjoy community meetings. I've been a community advocate for so many years. You know, whether it was mountaintop soccer and listening to parents complain about schedules and play wits and things, or, you know, the downtown development. We want your input, we do. And it's just that, you know, it'll get there. It will, we want it to be as best, and we want it to be as complete as possible. We don't just want to throw something in and throw the dice and see if it works or not. But Mr. Lepore is good at what he does, and hopefully our traffic engineers, we want it to work. And we appreciate your input, and thank you for coming tonight. You know, but always make sure to reach out to all of us, and we'd appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Council President.
Sure. Councilman?
Thank you, Council President. Council President, as you recall, in 2010, and some of the members of the administration recall, we had a budget deficit of over $2 million. We laid off 6 police officers and over 14 municipal employees. I don't know the exact number. Yet the shuttle was not touched. Okay, we understand the value of that shuttle. The point that I'm making here is that to the folks in the audience, to our taxpayers at home or on that video, we need to understand that we have a passion, okay? We have a passion for this community. We understand the value of that service. It can't be measured. There's elected officials here that have voted constantly against the shuttle, but, you know, we have stood our ground, and we've been advocates, and we've been able to safeguard and not only save, but expand this service. Okay, the message tonight should be to everyone on that video, to everyone in the audience, you've been heard, okay? You'll be considered, and no one is being dismissed. We have to do a better job to make sure that we improve on the lines of communication. We have to do a better job to make sure that we all on the same page with respect to, you know, what information is out there. Where are we? You know, I just had a conversation with someone in the administration, and I was given an update. Oh yeah, we're still working, we're driving around the shuttles, as a matter of fact, as we speak, to calibrate the times to make sure that we really understand the timing, we understand the stops, and that the transportation system's on time. Okay, then we take that data, and then you start doing test runs throughout the route. When that's ready, okay, let's meet with Sharp, and let's see what we have with respect to you know, that data, that information, that feedback, to create a program that's workable. So I don't want you to take our passion for what we do up here representing our community in a negative way, but rather we're in a way, I'm kind of disappointed that we failed in the communication, and we take responsibility for that. We need to improve on that. So understand that everyone's being heard, and your input is not going to be dismissed, is going to be heard. My last point, Council President, thank you for the time, is I would like to get an update from the business administrator as to where we are with the system and what our plan is moving forward on that 6th run.
Sure, Mr. Sayers, anytime you wanted to speak. I didn't want to...
You want to finish up, and then I can...
Okay.
We're done.
It sounds good. Ms. Rubin, just hold on, please. As you can tell from the video, and I couldn't bear to watch me speak, I'm an advocate for the jitney. I'm an advocate for trying to offset some of the costs of the shuttle, and I'm also an advocate of meeting, of Sharp meeting with the administration. I don't see any downside for the two sides to get into a room and discuss what everyone thinks is the best way to move forward. That, as I keep saying, in the business world, that's essentially what you do. But it appears to me from the emails and just from the actions is that Sharp has asked to have a sit-down meeting to discuss this. They've spent a lot of time trying to figure out what are some of the best options for the route, and they get back an email from Mr. Lepore that says the township or the administration is developing a workable plan, and when the plan is completed, we'll be happy to contact you. It just seems to me, if you're trying to put together a workable plan, you would include the people before you develop the workable plan and not present it to them after you've put that together. So I didn't see anything slanderous in the video. Sharp is advocating for a meeting, and administration, at least as far as I can tell, doesn't think now is the appropriate time, and Sharp doesn't believe that the appropriate time is after the plan is developed. So certainly, Mr. Sayers, if you want to respond, that would be great. Please.
Sure. Thank you. Just to let you know, we've already developed 3 shuttle routes through the township. That's our job. That's what our engineers do. That's what we get paid to do by the taxpayers. And we've developed those 3 shuttle routes, not to perfection, obviously. And when things happen or people want changes, we try to make the changes we can to accommodate the public. And in this case, this is a unique situation because technically this route is going to probably cover almost half of the town. And it's not a simple task to say, well, go down Main Street and make a right over here and we'll get there in 20 minutes. It doesn't work like that. So we've been working diligently over the last couple of months to try and come up with the best serviceable plan that we can come up with. And we're still doing that as of today. And we're pretty close to finishing the plan that we think is going to be most workable to everyone. And when it is, the mayor's going to lay that plan out. People will have an opportunity to comment on that plan. But we have to put the thing together. It's like we can't have, that's what we get paid to do. That's what we're here for. We work for the taxpayers. That's what the taxpayers pay us to do. So we've been working on that plan. Hopefully we're going to have it completed either by the end of this week or beginning of next week. We're still doing some shuttle runs right now, and we actually do the runs with the actual bus that we use. You can do them with your car, and it's not the same as doing it with the bus when there's 50 people in it. So we do these things to make sure we know exactly what the timing is going to be, how many routes we can do, how many times we can do it in the morning, and how many times we can do it in the afternoon. And we lay out this plan. We've laid this plan out in 3 other shuttle routes that are working. Even when we did Bel Air, when we did the shuttle run in Bel Air, it was a nightmare because Bel Air wanted to go to South Orange. It's a long run. So we had to lay out how we could do that, and we did that. Okay? Didn't get as many runs because people said, well, this is where we want to go, so instead of getting 4 runs, you're only getting 2. But those are the things you have to deal with. So what we're trying to do is make it acceptable to all the people in this township, not just a certain few. We've learned some lessons over the last couple of shuttle runs that we've put together, and we want to make sure that we're going to put the best run together that's going to accommodate the most people. And that's where we're at right now. Yes.
So I came into this after the advocating started when I got on the council. So my question, did you have original proposal from the neighbors in this group originally of what the parameters of what they were looking for in
Not that I'm
regards?
aware of. We met with neighbors who came to the mayor's office open hours, who spoke to us and told us things they were looking for, and that's what we plugged into.
So there
this
was
program.
initial communication in regards
Yes,
to what they were looking
absolutely.
for with the route, so you just weren't just making it up on your own?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, Councilman.
Thank you, Council President. Ms. Sayers, is there room for making changes based on that feedback and input?
Here's the way we usually do this. We put a plan together and we run it to see how it runs. If in a month or 2 there's things that need to be changed, we try to make those adjustments as well as we can that will accommodate most people. You have to have something in place that's going to work first. At least, even if it only works 75% of the time or 80%, it's not going to be 100%. Everybody's not going to love it. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. You can't put something together. Especially, as Mrs. Rubin suggested, you meet with people in a neighborhood. You have 5 people who want to go to a certain place and 5 people who want to go to another place. And how come we're going to this station? And how come we're not going to that station? That's why we have to put the plan together, lay it out there, and see how it works out. If it works out, fine, everybody will be happy. That would be a godsend. If it doesn't, and there's things that need to be changed, then we change them. And we've done that in the past with the other 3 routes that we have.
Right,
So-
but, I'm sorry, Council President Ryan.
Yes, please,
Thank you.
please.
But there is room for,
Yes. Oh, there's always
Always.
room
Okay.
for adjustment and change.
Okay. So
Absolutely,
that's-
without a doubt. We've done that in the past.
appreciate
That's
it.
what I'm
Thank you
saying.
very much.
Councilwoman?
Okay, I apologize. So, I mean, I would like to see, and I I'm not sure if you did this with the other routes, or I would assume, because how are you going to roll this out? So I guess the concern here is folks are going to want to, be able to have some input. So will there be, what's your intentions for the rollout?
Once the plan is complete, I will sit down with the mayor and the engineer, and the mayor will decide how we're going to roll it out.
And your
I'm not sure exactly how he's going to do that. He's done it in a lot of numerous ways over the past.
And your time frame for that, so folks
I'm hoping to have this, don't hold me to this, I'm hoping to either the end of this week or sometime next week to have nailed down exactly how we're going to do it.
And until the buses come in,
that's another
thing. It's not going to start till September probably.
No,
so.
the plan will probably be put together within a week or the next 2 weeks. Finished, I should say. The buses, as of right now, unfortunately, are on back order, and they're telling us that we probably will not get bus deliveries until either July or August.
Wow.
But even our operational cost isn't until the new budget, the budget
right.
starts.
And the new budget has to be approved. But we're looking, if in fact this plan is well worth its while in the next 2 weeks, you're still looking at July or August to have it up and running. And that's if we get the buses delivered on time, because there is a backlog with the buses right now.
Okay. And
from the discussion I had with Mr. Lepore today.
And just one other piece of information I'd like to share with the public. Mr. Lepore is a man of that wears many hats in this township. And, you have to, I explained, DEENA, we had many conversations on when are we going to hear something, when we're going to hear something. It's not like anybody was getting pushed back. It's just that when he had time, he looked at the plans different times in the year, and it wasn't time to announce it yet. So in his time frame, you asked me back in December, he was closing out all the grants for the streets because he had to get them done. So he has his calendar of things that he has to get done, and it just wasn't time yet. And it's getting closer, and it will be time, and we hope the administration.
I just want to add, Lenny has been working diligently on getting this plan finished. Trust me. That I can tell you, because I'm talking to him morning, noon, and night.
And 280 is a nightmare, as most folks know who travel to 280.
He's out there tonight right now, running around.
And that's the other big problem with putting this all together, is that the traffic patterns on 280, they're very unpredictable. And again, you're not going to be that one person who shows up to get your shuttle at 7 o'clock in the morning, and the shuttle's 10 minutes late because he didn't do his due diligence. And the last piece also, there are the commuter buses on Pleasant Valley Way, and I know I've put in some input also to ask to offset those times as well, so you have various options to get to the city in the morning. So if somebody can't make a jitney, maybe they could, they take the bus.
We've actually had conversations with people who said they're going to stay with this bus service and not go with the jitney on Pleasant Valley Way. So, it's like I said, you have a diverse group of people who want to go different places at different times and want to go into different stations. So you have to put a plan together, put it out there, see if it works for everybody, and if it doesn't, then we make adjustments. That's what we do.
So Ms. Rubin had asked us if each of the council people were in favor of sharp meeting with the administration. I'm assuming it's before the plan is rolled out. I just want to say I'm in favor of that, and just so everyone understands, under our charter, we have very distinct responsibilities between the council and the administration. The administration basically runs the business. The mayor is the CEO, and Mr. Sayers is the COO, and they do the day-to-day administration. And there's not a whole lot that we, as the council, can do statutorily to force them to have the meeting. Yeah. So all we can basically do is say, if we'd like you to have the meeting. One idea occurred to me. Mr. Sayers, I recall that some of the other additions to the jitney routes have come before the council for approval, for review and approval. Is that what the administration is planning again?
They had to come because we had to spend more money on the Bel Air jitney route. So once we have to expend the money, the council has to approve that.
Okay.
Where in this case, you've already approved the money. We're just waiting for the delivery and putting the plan together.
So you don't plan to come to the council?
We're going to put it before you guys.
Oh, okay.
Without a doubt. I'm hoping to have it done for the next council meeting.
Okay.
I got my fingers crossed.
Okay.
That's what we're shooting for.
Is there anyone else who wants to speak? I get the impression Ms. Rubin wants to make some closing remarks. You can certainly do them now, or you could wait till public comment. It's whatever. It's kind of unusual for you to sit down and then come back up. Do my colleagues have a preference?
It's 7:25 already.
I think it's more appropriate for public comment.
Make sure she goes first,
Yeah.
because we'll be in public comment in 2 minutes.
Does that sound, we'll just
Public comment.
wait for public comment? Okay.
Yeah, over there.
Thank you, everybody. We'll just move on to the conference agenda then. Mr. Sayers, next on the agenda is an update on downtown redevelopment. Please.
Again, I keep telling you the same thing, but it's moving along.
It's moving.
It's flying. If you can see, they have the whole second story up, wood frames are up, windows are going in. And when I went out there today, my whole thing is once you see the piping in the ground, that's when you know everything's going to be rolling along. And it looks like they're laying the pipe to the buildings, but it's not in the buildings yet. So once the piping gets out to the buildings, I think we can, I don't think, as I've said previously, they said they thought they'd have to be ready by August. I don't think that's going to happen from what I saw today. Because once you're done with the outside, the inside really takes more time than the outside. But they are rolling along.
Any questions? I know Councilman Guarino always has a question.
No, but I got...
You got an answer?
I got an answer.
Are there marketing materials?
No.
Oh, not yet.
Too early.
Not as
Too
yet,
early.
but thank you, Council President.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Sayers. We're moving on in the agenda for council liaison announcements. Anybody? Councilman Guarino?
Thank you, Council President.
I'll get you next, Councilman.
I'm sorry, Council President. Okay. Just like to just remind everybody, of course, June 3rd is our annual street fair. And of course, our annual street fair is combined with Edison Day. And there is no admission to the Edison National Park on Edison Day. And also, we're having our classic car show with some fantastic cars being brought. And so I hope everybody makes the effort to come out. It's June 3rd, starts at 11 o'clock. There'll be food vendors, crafts. There'll be activities for children. There'll be the museum, which is, there's many people who live in this township all their life and have not been to the Edison Museum, and they should take the effort, especially with the renovation that was done a number of years ago. There's more on exhibit, and it's a really good experience to meet the park rangers and to see the exhibit. Also, just want to go on the other thing is we had our West Orange Pedestrian Safety Advisory Board meeting a couple weeks ago. It was a great turnout. We had some visitors from other communities who are very interested in what we do and how we were able to pull our organization together. We had two great speakers. We had Mr. Zarab from the North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority, who works on, in conjunction with Complete Streets and the Street Diet, and Cindy Steiner from the New Jersey Bike and Walk Coalition, two great new partners working with us to move forward with our Complete Streets. If anybody wants to know more about Road Diet, the video is on the township website in the Pedestrian Safety Advisory Board section. Take a look at it. It's 15 minutes. It shows you what other communities are doing with road diets and how you're taking 4-lane highways and making them 3 lanes and making them safer. You're artificially reducing the speed, and you're actually making them more friendly for bike lanes and pedestrian crossings. So it's something, if you really want to look at it, take a look at the township website. It's called New Jersey Road Diet, and it's a fantastic piece of demonstration to look at. Also, on July 2nd, of course, you know, the National Traveling Vietnam Veterans War Memorial will be in the township of West Orange. The township is looking for volunteers to help set it up and man it. So if you're interested in spending some time, as I know I will, and my brother, who is a Vietnam veteran, will be volunteering to help with the setup and the monitoring of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. It's a great way to show your appreciation. Also, a little update on Rent-A-House, our senior housing complex. The new window testing is going along smoothly, and we had a great storm a few days ago, and the windows didn't leak. So we're moving along with getting that project going to take care of our seniors. And Then again, I just want to mention, on our next advisory board meeting, the Pedestrian Safety Advisory Board meeting, our May meeting is being canceled because many of our board members cannot attend, but that meeting is being moved to June 8th at 7:30 at the Essex County Educational Center at Turtleback Zoo, which again, we thank the county for the absolute use of this great facility. And that's all. Thank you, Council President.
Councilman Cirillo, you had your hand up?
Thank you, Council President. On the note of the Edison Museum, there was a press release that was sent out, and I don't know if you saw it on email, that there's an economic benefit of $3.4 million to West Orange and the surrounding neighborhoods. So I encourage our families at home to come out and check out Edison National Museum, because it's not only a great treasure, but it derives great benefit to the communities around us. So thank you for your advocacy on behalf of the museum. Council President, we are very close to having a meeting with New Jersey Transit. I was in touch with them this afternoon. It'll be the mayors and the chiefs of police of both municipalities. I drove around Central Avenue this evening. The redevelopment project is greatly accelerating. They're up to like 4 stories, where we just broke ground like 2 months ago, and it's looking sharp. No pun intended. Anyhow, speaking of the commuting population, we're advocating for a Midtown Direct line to stop at the Highland Avenue train station. So it's a passion that we've undertaken, and we want to make sure that becomes a reality. So working with the mayors of Orange and West Orange, the chiefs of police, we're trying to make that a reality for not only the residents of the Gregory neighborhood, the Valley neighborhood, but all of West Orange. So, Council President, good news, we're moving along and we're making some progress. Lastly, I want to invite the public to Father's Day at Susie Q's on Sunday, June 18th. The proceeds, Council President, of every check that comes in, 20% of those proceeds will be donated to the Hispanic Foundation. It's another passion of mine, and I'm advocating. I'm asking members of the community on June 18th, Susie Q's on Valley Road, come out, and the proceeds 20% of those proceeds will be donated back to the West Orange Hispanic Foundation. Thank you very much for the time, Council President.
Councilwoman? Oh, would you like to? Go. That's fine. You don't have...
Are you sure? Okay. Thank you to all who came out to support the Friends of the West Orange Public Library this past Sunday night. It was a beautiful gala that we had to celebrate our first year as a Friends group, and to thank all who supported the renovations for the library, and also to little fundraising to transform the lower level of the library into a instructional space and a community meeting space that we're going to be fundraising for in the future. The space looks great. Great work by the staff and the Friends group, all who had worked diligently to clear out the room, get it painted. I'd like to thank the RAC and Public Works for supplying us with the tables and chairs, and Sedesco from the school district for supplying all the beautiful tablecloths to really dress up the room. It was a great night by all. We had Liberty Middle School music teacher, Dave, come down, and he played beautifully, very talented musician. And thank you to the West Orange Arts Council for supplying us with beautiful artwork on the walls of the space. So we're very excited. It's going to be a great fundraising year to see how that space will transform. So thank you, everyone who came out to support that event. Tuesday, May 23rd, I have some flyers here. The township is doing our Salute to Seniors Luncheon. It is Older Americans Week. Thank you, Ms. Morelli, for reminding us last meeting. And the township they actually hold this every year in May. So Tuesday, May 23rd from 11:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Mayfair Farms. Tickets are $25 per person. There's entertainment, dancing, door prizes. It's a beautiful event. I stopped by it last year, so hopefully you all could come out and celebrate. Hopefully next year we'll be able to provide some more events to celebrate the month. I spoke with our director from our health services, Teresa DeNova. For those of you who weren't at the last meeting, we were awarded a grant to work with Montclair State University on senior studies for senior citizen service here in the township. Montclair State will come in. They'll facilitate a feasibility study for us. And I'm going to be, the mayor appointed me a liaison for the committee, so I'm going to be going with Ms. DeNova over to Montclair State. We're going to be meeting with them hopefully next week, and we'll have a whole rollout that Ms. DeNova will come in to announce to the township on how folks could get involved. So we look forward to working with them. We hope to garner information from this study to see what additional services that the township could be awarded to apply for another grant next October. And this is a trend other towns are going in and trying to get additional refund sources for aging in place. So we're excited about that, and we look forward to seeing the results of the study. And also, this Thursday is the West Orange Public Relations meeting. Anyone interested in working with our group will be this Thursday night down the hall in room 109. We have a lot of events on the horizon, as my colleagues have mentioned. You know, street fairs June 3rd, health and wellness fair, which I'm sure Councilman McCartney will give us details on, and as Councilman Guarino stated, the traveling Vietnam Memorial Wall. There'll also be a food truck festival on Sunday, July 2nd. So we look forward to all these events, and hopefully if you're interested, come out down and work with us at the Public Relations Commission to get the great word out of all things West Orange. Council President.
Thank you. Councilwoman.
I'm not sure which segue to use, Friends of Edison or the health fair, but the health fair is in collaboration with the West Orange PR Commission and the West Orange Chamber of Commerce. The health fair is on Sunday, May 21st, and this is a little bit different. This is from 1 to 4. This one is at OSPAC, which is our outdoor venue at the intersection of Boland Drive and Prospect Avenue. We have, I have flyers here. We can give out, you can register at New Jersey Arts Incubator, which is NJAI. All proceeds for this, there's a $25 fee to exhibit at the health fair, Community Health and Wellness Fair. There are quite a few demonstrations that we have. Lions Club is also providing an eye screening. So $25 for a chamber member or Downtown Alliance member, $35 for nonprofit organizations, and all the township departments are, of course, free. All the proceeds, 99.15% of the proceeds go towards a special education program for called Arts Play, a summer camp program for serving about 300 families in the West Orange community. And the proceeds, all of those proceeds support that program. So that's on Sunday, May 21st from 1 to 4. Please go to NJAI for more information. Next Wednesday, the Chamber of Commerce has their annual Community Awards Dinner. That's going to be held at the Manor, May 17th from 6 to 9. This information and tickets about the event are at westorangechamber.com. This is the community event where we honor someone from the police department, fire department, educator of the year, and business of the year. This year, the police officer being recognized is Pat Matullo. The firefighters have nominated the fire chief, Pete Smeraldo, as their honoree for 2017. Educator of the year is Deborah Cohen from West Orange High School. And our business of the year is JAG Physical Therapy on Eagle Rock Avenue. And West Orange was their first location. John has about 15 locations now in the area. And when we mention Thomas Edison, I do sit on Friends of Edison Board of Trustees. If you would like to save the date, July 13th. If you would like to get more information about the Friends, we have the Glenmont Garage event coming up on July 13th. Again, more information at the Thomas Edison National Historic Park website on that event. I missed something?
Done?
Yes.
Two quick announcements. I know we're running late. First of all, the Relay for Life, the American Cancer Society, big fundraiser at West Orange High School is coming up May 19th and 20th. It starts at 6 p.m. on the Friday and finishes at 6 a.m. On the Saturday. There is still time to put your team together, to join an existing team, to contribute funds, or to volunteer to help run the event. They need volunteers. If you'd like to get any of that information, just go to relayforlife.org/WestOrangeNJ. Also, the West Orange African Heritage Organization, its 13th annual Men Who Cook event is coming up on Sunday, June 10th. It raises literally tens of thousands of dollars for college scholarships for West Orange kids. It's at the Parish Center at St. Joseph's Church on Benvenue Avenue, across the street from Councilman Cirillo, and it's near Northfield and Prospect. You get about 40 or so chefs and people who want to be chefs like me. Mr. Kaiser has also been there quite a few years. And they make dishes. You buy your ticket to go in and taste all of these different dishes. And I'm very proud to say that I've been doing this for about 5 or 6 years, and no one has been poisoned from my Polish-American picnic. Wow. If you want tickets, you can get them from me, or if you'd like more information, please call 973-671-1158. If we're finished, we can conclude the conference agenda and move on to the public meeting. Madam Clerk, please.
This is to inform the general public that this meeting is being held in compliance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975. The annual notice was emailed to the Star Ledger and filed in the Township Clerk's office on November 28, 2016, and published in the West Orange Chronicle on December 8, 2016. Councilwoman Castellino?
Present.
Councilman Cirillo?
Present.
Councilman Guarino?
Present.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Present.
Council President Krokoviac?
Sort of, yes.
Okay. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The council is now in their public meeting.
I'm sorry about that. I just wanted to move a stand. I see a lot of people in the audience, and I figure there's going to be some people wanting to speak at public comment, so I just wanted to move that obstruction out of the way. Certainly for Councilwoman Castellino, we don't want her to sprain her other ankle. So we're starting public comment. For those of you who would like to speak, please raise your hand. You'll be recognized by the chair. I try to get 2 or 3 people to come down at once to sit in the front to sort of speed up in between the two speakers. When you come to the podium, please state your name, your address, and spell your name for the clerk for minutes. I saw Ms. Anderson's hand up. I'd like to get her first, and then we'll move on to Ms. Rubin if you wanted to speak next. Okay. Oh, you wanted to hold off until, okay.
Hello, Susan Anderson, Public Information Officer. Just have a couple of other events I wanted to add that are coming up quickly, along with the May 21 event at OSPEC, the Wellness Fair. The next week is our Memorial Day celebration on the steps of Town Hall. We have this event every year, and it's open to the public, and we hope it doesn't. And right. So everyone is welcome to attend that. And also in June is Latin Night at OSPAC, June 24th. It is the concert kickoff, and that is co-sponsored by the West Orange Hispanic Foundation. So that's also a wonderful event, and hopefully everyone can come out for that. That is from, I believe, 5 to 9 on Saturday, June 24th. I just wanted to reiterate that the mayor does have open office hours every other Thursday, and I believe this Thursday is one of those weeks where we have open office hours, so the doors are actually always open. So anyone wishing to attend open office hours can come to Town Hall between the hours of 6 and 8. It's not a formal process. You do not need an appointment. You can bring 15 people with you. It doesn't matter. And you can speak to the mayor then. Thank you.
About any subject.
About any subject. Thank you.
Yes, please come on down. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? Please raise your hand. Yes, please come down to the front row if you wouldn't mind.
Hello, my name is Susan Lando, Lando, and I live at 45 Malarkey Drive. I've been a resident of West Orange for over 30 years. I own 2 different houses, and now I live in the Woodlands condos at 45 Malarkey Drive. So my dedication is rather obvious, having moved from one house to another house to then a condo all within West Orange. Additionally, 2 of my sons got married and had children and moved to West Orange and each own homes in West Orange. So the town is very important to me. And I recognize that transportation is a very important thing for the value of a city. And unfortunately, I missed the video in the beginning, so I don't know exactly what it is, but I did hear the back and forth questioning and Mr. Sayers' remarks, and I have a little trouble understanding why you're telling a committee of many, many residents, hundreds, they represent hundreds of residents in West Orange, who have put in a lot of effort into plotting out a suggested route, that you are saying you want to finish your layout and then go to the mayor and they should meet with the mayor. Why not meet with them before you plot it out and work out with them what, you know, why? I understand that they feel very frustrated because of this lack of input up front. And it seems just so sensible to me. So, wonder if you.
We ask that you finish your comments,
What?
and then everyone will have a chance to answer at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Ms. Lando, typically what we do is we hear everybody, and then everybody, once everybody's finished with a public comment, then we will respond if
Okay.
we so.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lando.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Lisa Yatchen, and I live at 41 Seaman Road. I've been in West Orange.
Excuse me, can you spell your last name?
Sure. G-J-E-R-T-S-E-N. Try and pronounce it. So I've been a resident in West Orange for 17 years. Until a year and a half ago, I lived right up the street from the mayor, and I think the entire time I've been here, I've been asking, can we get the jitney to our region? And we met, you came to my door when you were campaigning about a year ago. I've been completely livid with the fact that we who live in that part of town pay the same amount of taxes as those who live in the town that has the jitney. So I'm glad to hear that we are finally getting here and very supportive of the efforts. I do totally agree with the comment made earlier. Let's look at the right route. 280 is really not the right route. I understand that there's several routes plotted, but I just wanted to give my perspective that I think there's for 17 years I've been paying the same amount of taxes as someone who has offered to the jitney, and I think that's slightly unfair. So I want to add that perspective as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? Please come on up, please. Is there anyone else? Please come on down. Yes, please go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sure, of course. Larry Ryan I live at 8 Cummings Circle in West Orange, same place where Susan lives, in the Woodlands. If you remember last time when I was here, I also am the president of the JCC of Metro West of West Orange, as you all know. And I talked last time about how important it is from the JCC perspective. And tonight I really just want to add another perspective as well, is that, you know, when I came back to the JCC after I had been here that day, we created a new buzz about the fact that we're going to have a jitney. And the excitement has been really going pretty over the entire JCC, and I've actually been using it part of my weekly blogs that I do for the JCC and talking about how exciting this is going to be. As a byproduct of that, is that coming back just to being a regular resident inside of West Orange, is that the excitement is also great. And one of the things I really want to share that why we're really excited about the expansion of the route and having it part of the Pleasant Valley Way and the Redwood section and all the different parts of that is that because we are actually seeing the growth in our community, and when the people ask the question, how are we going to get to New York City, we don't have to say we don't have anything anymore. We actually had a session a few weeks ago where we had people come in from New York City and other places and to move to West Orange, and we were able to say to them, it's really going to happen. And we were really excited to share that. So the sooner the better, because we all know that, you know, in June, everybody's moving in and people's going to be, their kids are moving in to go back to school, so they're ready for September. So we're really dying for this to happen as quick as humanly possible. So I really can only emphasize the fact that we are really excited as all parts of West Orange, and just to make it happen is going to increase the number of people moving to our community. So we really appreciate everything you could do to hasten it and making it work as fast as possible. Thanks very much.
Please. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Raise your hand, please. Please, go ahead.
Thank you very much, members of the council, for giving us this opportunity. My name is Robert Grossberg, Grosberg, and I live at 38 Redwood Avenue, across the street from the Redwood Avenue School in West Orange. I think the best way for me to start is to indicate to you that I left New York City this evening at about 5 o'clock, leaving my office, and went for a 5:35 express bus at Port Authority, and I walk at a pretty good clip. And I get there a little early, got on the bus, and the bus is very crowded, but I had a seat because I was somewhere in the middle of the line. And the bus hits traffic, and it hits traffic getting out of the tunnel, going into the tunnel, getting out of the tunnel, because there are no express lanes in the evening as there are in the morning. The bus hits traffic on the New Jersey Turnpike, and the bus especially hits traffic, like a lot of people do, when it hits the Steckel Bridge. So by the time I got off the bus, which left at 5:35, on Eagle Rock, and walked to my home, it was 6:45. I used the facilities and got in my car and came down here. And I believe that I probably could cut out 40 to 45 minutes of that trip if I had the availability of the jitney in order for me to walk not to the Port Authority but to Penn Station, which is closer, and take an earlier train and get back to wherever the jitney is going to pick me up and bring me back home. So I appreciate the fact that this council has approved this jitney for us. It was mentioned before that the route here that's under discussion, unlike other routes in West Orange, is covering about half of West Orange. And if that is the case, and since there is concern from the individuals in this community, and not just one or two, but quite a few, unlike other cases where a route could be laid out, I think it would be extremely valuable for you and for the mayor's office to consider hearing what we have to say. It doesn't cost anything to listen to us. And maybe you will learn a thing or two. The fact that individuals a couple of years ago went to the mayor's office, unbeknownst to most of us, that either you could do that or it would have an effect, we are here now. And we are asking for the opportunity to provide some input. You have every right to reject it, but it may help you because it's a lot easier, and I was a COO in addition to being a CIO. It's a lot easier building things up from the start than having to change them once they're in place. So with all due respect, I would ask you to please consider that for us. I thank you for this tremendous opportunity that you've given us. Have a good night.
Thank you. Please, is there anyone else who'd like to speak? Please raise your hand. Please come on down.
Good evening, Deborah Spivak, 23 Cunningham Drive. Spivak is S as in Sam, P as in Peter, I, V as in Victor, AK. I want to thank you very much for considering the opportunity to open a new jitney to another community within West Orange. And I will echo what many of the people who stood here before said regarding just getting feedback regarding the route. I will actually offer my feedback now. I would ask that since West Orange is a large community, that whatever route is put in place, parking facilities are considered. I happen to live very close to Verona Park, so I am at the edge of West Orange. I think the sign that says "Welcome to West Orange" is about a block and a half from my house. So listen, I'm a realist. I know you're not coming to my block. You're not picking me up at my house. However, I also am not, unfortunately, in the physical shape to walk across town and catch a bus, you know, or whatever, a jitney early. So I will ask that whatever route is being considered, that you take into account the people that don't live right along that route so that they too can partake in the jitney. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please.
Susan Scarpa, 343 Gregory Avenue. Tonight, I'm here to talk about a great program we're able to make available to our seniors, courtesy of the West Orange High School Mountaineer Mentors. On Monday, May 22nd, and Monday, June 12th, from 3:30 to 5 p.m., the Mountaineer Mentors will be in the Library Media Center at West Orange High School to help our seniors with ways they can use technology to enrich the quality of their life. In addition, at 4:30, we are having chair yoga, which will enhance both body and mind. I'd like to thank the Mountaineer Mentors for volunteering their time, and I would like to thank Mr. Moore and Stephen Ziccarella for their tremendous efforts in coordinating and putting this great program together. I'm truly grateful for all the support we have gotten from the administration of West Orange High School. This month, we celebrate Older Americans Month, where we give appreciation to the incredible value older Americans contribute to our community. I would like to stress the importance of intergenerational programs like this one that bring our community closer together. Older Americans have a wealth of knowledge and experience that they bring to our community every day. And I am so glad we can take this month to show them our appreciation to all of the older Americans by providing them with new programs to support their overall health and well-being. Thank you for your attention to this important matter. And the students are putting together flyers which will be distributed in the next couple of days, and we'll make sure that they get to everyone, including all the council members.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Morelli, is there anyone else who'd like to speak? Please raise your hand.
Rosary Morelli, Ralph Road. Guess what I'm here to talk about? You got 3 guesses. I did get your email. Yes, this month is Older Americans Month. I'm tired, actually, of hearing people saying we have services and programs comparable to or better than surrounding communities. From what I sent you, you can't defend that. Okay. I have here just a little bit of stuff. I probably killed 20 trees today, but I have information. This is the SOMA information. That's South Orange Maplewood, they've combined. And this one is Montclair. I don't know if I made enough copies. I went to the SOMA, which is the South Orange Maplewood collaboration. They had a senior fair in Maplewood last week, and it was awesome. You can't believe what they had there, the services, programs, organizations setting up to accommodate seniors in every way. Talk about transportation. This is a senior bus transportation for Maplewood. We can't hold a candle to it. I don't have time to go through the South Orange programs, but they seem to have something every day of the month in May that's totally geared to and focuses on seniors. It's awesome, and it's in the packages I'm giving you. When we get to transportation, I have here the Montclair, and I think I said this before, partners with Easy Ride to offer free transportation services to seniors. Transportation and mobility in this town seems to be a problem. With seniors, it's their inability to get to doctor's offices and to medical facilities, as well as recreational programs in other towns, not here. Montclair got a grant. Actually, it's not a grant. From Easy Ride. They worked with them where Easy Ride is providing transportation free of charge. We could use that here. Why isn't our administration or somebody out there trying to get this for us? So copies for you. Easy Ride, if you look, that's free. If you look at what Easy Ride does cost, it's a $15 if they use it and had to pay for it, which is what we'd have to do in this town because we don't have what Montclair has. $15 annual membership fee, cost per ride to be per Lyft, Uber rates, which would be confirmed before placing the request for them. Although Uber and Lyft are cheap, they're not free. So we certainly can use that in West Orange. There are a lot of seniors who are living below the poverty level who can't afford it, so make comparisons of what that costs to free. We have a guide to public transportation that was published back in 2013 in July. It's called West Orange on the Go. It's a collaboration of Jewish Federation of Greater Metro West New Jersey and JTIP, which is Rutgers, and JCC Metro West, and local program, and JCHC and local program partners. Major funding for On the Go was provided by a grant from the Jewish Community Foundation of Greater Metro West New Jersey. Now this was July 2013. You can pass it around. It's on the website. I don't know any senior nor I who gets everything ever got that. I got it secondhand, and it's still nowhere to be had. It's on the website. Mr. Sayers was supposed to get hard copies for seniors who don't go on the internet. I don't know if they're done yet, if we'll ever see them. We're still waiting. Talk about getting long in the tooth. This is growing long in the tooth. I think we're ready for an upgraded procedure, a resource finder. You can reach out. They give grants. I understand there's lots of grants. We need an updated policy procedure. We need a hard copy that everybody can use. Why we don't have one now, I don't know. As far as the Federation, I was told that it's the largest philanthropic agency in the world, next to the government. So why aren't we in there asking for a grant for them to produce this for us? So you can go through that list and see what every other town is doing for the seniors, the older Americans, for this month. And as Ms. Scarpa put together, if I may.
Yes, Ms. Morelli, please, if you could take another 30 seconds
put together. You had sent me an email. I am working with Mr. Keogh, Recreation Department. He's been very receptive, very cooperative. We're going to have programs at the pool. Ms. Scarpa is working aggressively with the school administration. who are doing so much and plan to do so much more. The students in our town are awesome, absolutely awesome. They inspire me. At the Relay for Life, they brought me to tears and invigorated me, so I just can't tell you how great they are, and I know we'll be successful with their programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Morelli. Please.
Hi, my name is Ellie Langer. I live at 36 Lakeview Drive. I design computer applications for a living, and when I'm approaching a new project, one of the first things that I do is meet with the target users, because without understanding who my users are, what they want out of this application, how they plan to use it, without getting that feedback, the odds of me building it correctly go down. And we all know that building something correctly from the beginning is a lot cheaper than trying to fix something later on. And I think that approach applies to all new projects. And certainly building a route for a jitney is a project that needs to be built. And it's hard for me to understand the logic of not soliciting all the input up front before coming together with a plan. So that's my comment here is that to build something correctly from the beginning, why not talk to the people that are going to be affected so that you can get their input? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Langer. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? If you'd raise your hand, please. Ms. Rubin, it looks like it's close to you being on.
I'll be very brief. Hi, Anthony Puglisi, Public Information Director for Essex County, representing County Executive Joe DiVincenzo. Just give you an update on a couple things that are happening. First of all, this past Saturday was our spring Household Hazardous Waste Collection Day. We had over 1,700 people come. And it's amazing what people can pull out of their homes. So I encourage everyone to come again on May 20th in Cedar Grove, 125 Fairview Avenue, for our Computer and Electronics Recycling Day. I'm sure if people look around their homes, they'll see an old computer monitor, computer, television set that doesn't work, just something that they don't like anymore, they want to get rid of it. We strongly encourage people to get rid of it in an environmentally friendly way. So that event again is Saturday, May 20th. From 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., 125 Fairview Avenue in Cedar Grove. And then just on June 3rd, I know it's a busy day in West Orange, we have our 15th annual Essex County Open House at Turtleback Zoo. It's free admission, and in addition to seeing the animals and the new exhibits, you can see county employees behind display tables with carnival games, and just trying to make people aware of all the services and programs that the county does offer residents from all over West Orange and beyond. Thank you very much. And that is from, free admission is all day, but the open house is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Rubin, it looks like you're last, yes.
Second round. Second time's a charm. So thank you again for your time, attention, and consideration.
Can you just state your address?
DEENA Rubin, 6 McCluskey Court.
Thank you.
Don't send the hounds after me.
We know where you live.
I know. So I'm going to say publicly thank you again for all your time and consideration and efforts on behalf of Pleasantdale and Redwood, and SHARP, which is the name of our group, Shuttle Advocates for Redwood and Pleasantdale. We are very sharp, and we thank you for all your efforts in bringing the jitney to our areas, our parts of town, and this is not going unthanked or unnoticed. That is absolutely the primary goal, and that has been the primary goal all these years by people sitting here, by people in our community. It is the number one question, about transportation. So that is not being addressed here. And if there has been any miscommunication by the video or the presentation tonight or before tonight, I want to just set the record straight that we're not looking to be adversarial. We're not looking to be, a problem for you guys. We want to help solve what's in front of us, which is, a big deal. we've come this far, and you've heard testimony, sound like a lawyer, you've heard our constituents, your constituents, people who put you into office, who have said, we just want our commentary, our sitting down, our time and consideration for this particular route to not just be thank you very much, but to actually give us some time and attention. Sit down with our committee. This is the dismissive part. And Mr. Cirillo, and Michelle, and Jerry, and Susan. We are, if you want more video time, if I can add you to this, by all means, I'll call back my videographer.
And you can take me out, or at least next time, put the camera on the other side of the room.
Yeah, but honestly, this wasn't meant to not include you. The general consensus or the general feeling that I had, and I am a communicator, I'm in real estate, and as you know, I advocate for my sellers, my buyers, my tax-paying citizens, my future potential business here in town. This is a huge component, and it cannot be ignored. The route is just as important as putting in this extra 6th route, which again, we applaud the mayor and the budget and the whole crew. Who implemented this and who made this happen. So if any offense was taken, I don't want anybody to feel, upset or that anything was, ill-intentioned. That was not my intention. It was about being inclusive. As you can see, I opened this up to the community. This was not something that I just orchestrated out of my basement. It did get videotaped at my house, but it was something that, based on the conversations that I had with certain, people along the way, I didn't feel that I was getting any information, any real information that that would pacify me and my committee and my group. So it was the same old, and I just felt like I'm being pushed into a corner, and so did my committee. And after working tirelessly on this, it just didn't sit right. And that's why we're here. And that's why I keep coming back here, because first it was about not including Redwood, and we were happy to hear Redwood is included, because I live in Redwood. So how would that pan out, that I worked so hard on this for over 2 years, and I'm not even going to have a stop in my town, in my part of town? That didn't seem fair or right or make any sense. So we want to be sensible here. And, for all intents and purposes, I had a conversation with Mr. Sayers right here down the hall after the other meeting. And, you said to me, there are a lot of moving parts, and, some of the places that you suggested would need parking, they want to be paid. Now, I spoke to Larry Liebman, who's the president of A, B, J, and D, which is one of our temples. That was part of the proposed route. And I also got confirmation, and he asked to be quoted, that from the executive director of B'nai Shalom, which was another stop, not the Wilshire Grand, because I never spoke to the Wilshire Grand, because that's a whole separate entity. But they both said, Mr. Rothschild said, absolutely not. We will have designated spots, but no one is looking for funding or compensation from the town. So again, this is a community effort. And honestly, I spoke to these people. I thought maybe I'm being misled, and maybe they are asking for money.
Your time is up.
Ms. Rubin, could you try to finish up your comments in about 30 seconds,
Anyway,
please?
Okay, I come in peace. That's the point. And again, what we're asking for is for every town council member here tonight to help us push our agenda forward, which is a collaboration, which is working together before this is rolled out, before it's inked, because as you and I both know, anytime something is put down in writing, it's so much more difficult to get it unwritten or revised or amended. So please, this is what we want. You've heard us speak, and we don't want to feel dismissed. Mm-hmm. And up until now, we've had a collaboration, and we felt like there is a little bit of a joint effort, but now we feel like we're being pushed into a corner, and it doesn't feel good. So thank you again for your time. Have a good night.
Thank you, Ms. Rubin. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in public comment? Please raise your hand. Seeing no hands raised, I'm going to close public comment and open responses to my colleagues. Does anybody like to go? Sure. Councilwoman.
Well, I think, DEENA, I want to start with just a thank you. and just to see how this coalition has grown. And I just want to, I agree with the importance of transportation, and I do want to assure everyone that came here this evening that I'm repeating myself, that you have our full support. I think I don't have my thoughts together because, you know, we're just listening to everyone, but just to let you know that you do have our support. And if Jack is saying that there is a plan by next week, if you have, Mayor has office hours on Thursday, email that plan, send information. Okay, well then, and Jack just said, Mr. Sayers just said, that the information that they have received, they are incorporating in a plan. So I appreciate the comment that was made by Mrs. Langer about building a project. That does make sense, of course. So the more information we have, the more, you know, we can make for a better plan. So I do agree with everyone, what everyone says, and I want to just assure you that we are all pushing and moving in that direction. And hopefully it will be here by next week, or that's what Jack says, at the beginning of next week. So it has to happen, so thank you for coming out. A couple of comments that were made when Susan Scarpa mentioned about the Mountaineer Mentors. Sounds like a wonderful organization that seems virtually new. It reminded me of the Nikhil Badlani Foundation that has an event also coming up next week, May 16th, that just provides scholarships for music for students. So I really have appreciated Mrs. Morelli's comment about the students at the high school. Because I tend to agree, you get excited with the things that they're doing. And that was the segue that Anthony Puglisi, and we didn't mention this 3-day event that the New Jersey Clean Communities is having at the Turtleback Zoo on May 24th. The West Orange Fight for Green team, plus thousands of students from across New Jersey, have been invited to the zoo on May 24th to be recognized for all of the projects that they're doing for the environment. On May 25th, at the Pleasantdale Chateau, the New Jersey Clean Communities will be recognizing people for their work in the community with a reception at Pleasantdale Chateau. More information can be found on that event at New Jersey Clean Communities. And just the other note that I made here, that the West Orange on the Go booklet has been in the library now for ever since we mentioned it, and apparently they're very popular and moving quickly.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman, you caught my eye next.
Sure.
Is that
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
Oh, you want to go, Jerry? You can go.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Again, not going to beat a dead horse with the jitney. Supportive of it from right out the gate when I first met you last year at the Realtor Open House. I'm in real estate as well. It's a great idea. It's a no-brainer. Advocated for it as well. And, you know, glad we're here. What I'm not glad about is that there seems to be appearance of non-communication, which I hope the administration could, you know, roll it out so we don't have that feel to the public. But, you know, we approved the bus right away. We have a process with our budget, and when there's a process, we can't control that. It is what it is, and it will start, you know, late summer. So that's great, exciting news. I always say government moves slow, which drives me crazy. This is, you know, I was with the school board all those years. I thought that moved slow. This moves even slower, but we're under guidelines. And I think Mr. Lepore needs to be commended on the work and the time he has spent on this. And I'm just a little upset tonight because I'm not going to speak for the mayor or anybody else. I just know from various conversations I had with people in the neighborhood, knowing they had spoken with the mayor and with the administration. They're not, some of those folks aren't in this room tonight, but they are members of your community, the community in Redwood and Pleasantdale. And You know, we went back and forth on a statement that was said a while ago about Redwood. Redwood was always in the plan. We never thought they weren't going to be in the plan. So I'm just glad we're here and that it's almost done. And I know it's always frustrating because you want information sooner than when it's ready. So do I. So do the rest of my colleagues. But we have to wait on the administration. So it sounds like it's coming. Hopefully, I have yet to see something in this kind of nature that is just set in stone without it being tweaked. So I'm not worried about it. I'm sure once it's rolled out and, you know, things do get tweaked, so I'm not worried about that. But I also know, too, that you can't make everybody happy. As somebody said tonight, somebody, I guess, wasn't happy with thinking about going on 280 or whatever the case may be. I know there was talks of one train station versus the other. So hopefully, you know, the compromise will be something that we'll all be satisfied with. But anyway, thank you, DEENA, for advocating. I always say I always admire you for advocating because that's, you know, how I started out. And we definitely heard you. And thank you to everyone who came down on behalf of the Jitney service. Susan Scarpa, great program, the Mountaineers mentoring program. Always, when I was over there, we were always proud of that. My son was a Mountaineer. Mr. Moore, Stefan Sakella, always does a great job with our students. And, you know, years ago, they've done community service with our seniors, getting involved in so many various ways. So this is great that you came to them with an idea and they ran with it. And, you know, that's what they're there for. And they do a tremendous job year after year. And it's always fun to see when these students graduate. I used to say the best part of having that job for 10 years was graduation night and seeing these kids go through our system and become, you know, just, you know, wonderful young adults and being great citizens for our community. So Mr. Moore's awesome and working with our students. So I'm glad we're seeing some more programming come from them. And again, Ms. Morelli, thank you for the information you've been sending me. I know you're anxious and I know you wish, you know, things would move along a little faster, but again, another process. We did get the grant, so we're able to get something in place. Montclair, South Orange, they all started with what we're doing now. So we, you know, to get additional services. A lot of what you see here, especially the one program, was funded through advertisers for the booklet. And a lot of these programs, if you look at your one thing for Montclair, there's all advertisements in here. But it's all about funding and additional services. We do offer a lot. We can offer more. I'm glad that Bill Key is going to work with you with the pool, because I thought there was some great programming there this summer. The Friends of the Library, we're going to do some programming that you're going to take the lead on. And, you know, it's all good stuff. So it's just having the funding for it and the manpower as far as staffing goes. I know Montclair was able to staff an additional person with one of the grants that they were awarded. So again, we're moving on it. We're going to be approving our grant writer tonight to renew them, their Millennium, and they've done an awesome job this year, which I'll speak to when we get to that point. And you know, I just look forward to some great opportunities that are coming our way. So thank you, everybody, for coming down tonight. Council President.
Thank you. Councilman Guarino?
Thank you, Council President. Not to beat a dead horse, no. You're not a dead horse. You know, the council is here for you, and we've always supported the idea of the jitney. That's been number one. I've always advocated that we need the jitney, and no, we will never charge our residents because you pay your taxes and everything else. It's the least that we can give back to the residents of the community. So it's a very important thing and very fun, and constantly moving to move and improve the shuttle. And it's right, you know, you need to start with a good foundation, a good basis of your ABCs when you do any program. Because once you have a great foundation, you can move it on, move it forward, and it's easier making corrective actions when you have a solid base. So that's key, and your input is important. My one suggestion would be is it would have been nice, I know, you could have invited us or invited individuals of us to meet with their group and hear what everybody was saying instead of waiting until you're going to get your chance with the mayor or later on. We would have liked to hear, and I believe I can speak for my colleagues, We would have loved to have met with your group and understand where their feelings were. Maybe we could have answered some questions and take your frustrations away and take our angst away. But this way we're on the same field. And then together we can build that solid foundation. I mean, in what I do, I mean, everything has to be done with a solid base. And we'll get there. And we will, because we want to deliver something that is near perfect. Nothing's ever perfect, but we want something near perfect so you can make corrective actions and be a benefit for our community. So, but thank you for your efforts, and it didn't take any offense. I mean, but, you know, you could have called us, but that's besides the point. Ms. Garber, yes, about the Mountaineers and everything else. It's one of the quietest assets that we have in the township is our school system and our students in the high school who are there to be tapped and to help, particularly our seniors and senior programs, because there is a good relationship. Just look at the senior prom that they had. I mean, it's such a great interaction between two separate age groups. So it's an area that we don't tap enough to use, and I think we need to do it. So thank you for bringing that to us and, you know, for showing that there are great things in our township, particularly our students, and it's one of our best assets. Ms. Morelli, thank you for giving, you know, the information. We need to look at it. We need to push forward and with the grant writer get more money so we can deliver the quality A1 services to our seniors and our most volatile segment of our population. So it's good that we know what's going on in our towns. It's good that we have people that, like you, who bring it to us, because sometimes we can't get to it, but it's good for us to know so we have the materials. But we need to forward this on now with distinctive plans to Millennium, hopefully our grant writer, who have done a tremendous job for us. Also, Mr. Puglisi, you know, big shout out. I was there on Saturday with a lot of disposables and everything. I didn't even have to get out of my car. As soon as I pulled up, that all the doors and the hatch opened and everything, and they cleaned out my car and said, "On your way." So it was a great day. And again, open house, even though it's on the same day as a street fair, it does bring more people to town, and they actually do work themselves down to Main Street. So we're looking forward to that. So we thank the county, and we thank the county executive. And I thank you, Council President.
Sure. Councilman Cirillo.
Thank you, Council President. Just thinking about the county, we have the open house at the zoo. And Council President, lately we've been getting, I'm sure you have, a lot of correspondence with respect to the amount of traffic created by the very successful county facility that we've been blessed with. We have a world-class zoo, we have the arena, we have the beautiful park, the quality restaurant, but we need to start looking at the issues of overcrowding vehicles over the summer. Perhaps the pedestrian advisory board, perhaps some of us should meet with county officials and start discussing those issues. Maybe walkable sidewalks, going further uphill or in the other direction. Park and ride options, maybe a shuttle transporting folks from a parking area, even municipal hall, and transporting visitors down to the county facility. But Anthony, I'm going to reach out to the office and see. And I'm sure that this issue has come up, and professionals at the county level that have looked at that, and I would love to, for some of us to explore and provide our feedback with respect to the overcrowding that we're starting to get a lot of concerns and feedback on. So that's an issue that I wanted to talk about, Council President. In addition to that, I'm glad that the grant has been made available to publicize some of the offerings and clarify a lot of the information that's out there as it relates to the senior citizen program. So I'm looking forward to that and seeing what the product looks like. Whenever I see these brochures, you know, it kind of, you know, I don't know, I don't feel good. I think we should try to do not only a similar job, but even a better job. Not only as it relates to the communication, but also the offerings. We'll, you know, your advocacy is well taken, and it's a work in progress. Government moves slow, works slow, and as long as there's communication and there's a passion. So the passion that was presented today from the advocates from SHARP, the advocates for the shuttle lines. I just want to say thank you, because as taxpayers, we also as passionate about our community. We realize the value of public transportation to our property values. You're a realtor, you're a professional, you know that it's difficult to really place a value to that, but the fact that that service is offered means that our property values go up, which is what we advocate for. Let's say that we're looking to improve the landscaping of one of our parks, perhaps we can ask a landscaper to come in and give us a plan, because they have a background in landscaping. They're professionals, they've done this before. However, before the final stamp of approval is put on, we should be able to provide our input and our feedback, because we use that park for recreation for our families and our children. So it's the same thing here. I think that a workable plan is being drafted, but later on, and as was presented, we, SHARP, and the community will be able to provide its input in order for us to come up with a plan that may not be perfect to everyone, but it may be in the best interest of everyone. So just the fact that we've been able to improve on communication and we know where we are is a plus, and I appreciate that. Without communication, we're not going to make any progress. So thank you, and make sure that this is communicated to the members of SHARP and the folks at home in Redwood, Pleasantdale, that maybe come out to the mayor's office hours later on, as this email has confirmed. The task force is going to be contacted to provide that feedback. So again, let's improve on communication, and we'll make this community a better place. Thank you for the time, Council President.
Thank you. Just trying to be brief, just a couple of items. The 2017 introduced budget, municipal budget, is finally up online, so you can go to westorange.org and look over on the left side and click on the little link that says budget. And just in time, because in the May 23rd meeting is our scheduled public hearing for public comment on the introduced budget. Also, I wanted to just give folks an update on the work that's being done in the Gregory area by PSE and G. Anyone who's driven a car over there knows that a lot of the roads are getting pretty whipped up. Mr. Lepore has sent an email, and I just want to read it briefly so that a lot of the residents over there that have expressed concern about what's going on and what may go on just know a little bit more. And thank you, Mr. Lepore, for bringing this. The work by PSE&G along Prospect Avenue, then through the Upper Gregory section and the valley, is the installation of underground electrical cable in conduit from the PSE&G switching station at the intersection of Prospect and Mount Pleasant Avenues to the McCarter switching station in Newark. The route is along Prospect Avenue to Benvenue Avenue, Benvenue Avenue to Northfield Avenue, Northfield Avenue to Bradford Avenue, to Undercliff Terrace, to Forest Hill Road, to South Valley Road, to Rollinson, to Wellington Avenue, which then becomes Freeman Street in the city of Orange. To date, only large underground vaults and conduit have been installed. No wires have been placed in the conduit. Work is currently proceeding at 2 locations on Forest Hill Road with conduit installation. The only street that will be, I also asked about whether the roads are going to be fixed. He said the only street that will be disturbed that has been worked on in the last 3 years or repaved is the intersection of Dartmouth Road and Forest Hill Road. PSE&G will mill and resurface that intersection, as well as mill and resurface Undercliff Terrace curb to curb for its full length, Bradford Avenue curb to curb from Northfield Avenue to Undercliff Terrace, South Valley Road curb to curb from Forest Hill Road to Rollinson Street curb to curb from South Valley Road to Wellington Avenue, and Wellington Avenue curb to curb from Rollinson Street to Freeman Street in Orange. Although West Orange has properties that front Freeman Street, the entire roadway and right-of-way is under the City of Orange Township jurisdiction. So I've got a couple other questions for him. I'll follow up, and I'm sorry to do that, but there's a lot of people that really want to know this material. Just very briefly, thanks to you for everybody who came out and spoke tonight. Just want to say particularly a shout out to Ms. Morelli for continuing to bring the council, and I guess the administration, all of this information about what other municipalities are doing for their senior citizens. It's just we have so much more we could be doing for seniors, and hopefully we'll be doing that in the coming months. I want to thank Ms. Rubin and the other members of SHARP, and I want to thank Mr. Sayers, because I think we got a whole lot of good information about what's going on between those two people speaking tonight. So I have a much better idea of what's going on now, so I really appreciate that. But I do have to say I still haven't heard a good reason not to meet, for the administration not to meet with the group before finalizing their plan. But I did hear a lot of good reasons to meet with them before the plan is finalized. So hopefully the administration will rethink it, or be open to meeting with SHARP just as soon as possible. Let's move on in the agenda. Madam Clerk?
Okay, the consent agenda, approval of minutes of previous meeting, public meeting, April 25th, 2017.
Consent.
Report of township officers, none. Reading of petitions and communications and bids, none. Bills, are there any questions on the bills?
Consent.
Resolutions, are any resolutions being pulled this evening? And I just want to remind you that the agenda was revised, so 105 was pulled from the agenda.
That was the one on the
Which
grant
was
writing
the
contract.
Millennium, yes.
So it's been pulled.
Yes.
Is there any reason why it was pulled? Mr. Sayers, is there any reason you can speak?
There was, there may be an issue with some advertising, so rather than approve it, we pulled it. Legal is reviewing it, and if it's okay, we'll just put it on the next agenda. If not, we're going to have to do some other.
Great. And I still would like to see some of the materials that I asked for, including the report, if we could get it before the next meeting.
There's an annual report we received.
Oh, you did send it? Mm-hmm. Oh, when did you send it?
The annual report.
Did you ask me to send it out? Well, then I sent it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did go in.
Okay, thank you.
There's a yearly.
Yes, that's.
Oh, yes, I did.
I got it.
Yes.
Yeah, the annual
Yes,
report.
thank you.
Yeah, I sent that out.
Yes.
It's a breakdown of all the grants that have gotten, how many are still
Okay.
open.
Great. Well, I'm glad I made a fool of myself just to know that I missed it. No, I missed it. I missed it. Yeah.
If you need it, call me, I'll send you a copy.
Okay. No, I'm sure it's fine.
I could email it to you again also.
Yeah, it's a good list. They were quite busy this year. They're definitely worth approving last year.
There's still about 1.5 million that are still waiting.
Madam Clerk?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got thrown off.
Question.
Sorry.
Right.
Moment.
I have a question, Joe. I think
Okay,
you had
please.
asked about a question on Resolution B. John, do you want to just say this is since 2001, this is on the tax refunds? I mean, not 2001, 2011. Can you...
You're talking about the tax appeal? That's just actually correcting an error that was made in an earlier resolution.
Can you tell me what the site is?
It's one of, I'm not sure which one it is, but it's one of the business, the office buildings up behind the green. So I'm not
At
sure
Essex
one-
Green,
one
yeah,
of
I
the-
bet it's...
one of the
okay.
sites, yeah.
I looked
Housekeeping?
it up.
is
I
it?
just can't find my notes here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think there's 4 different sites there, I'm just not sure which one it was.
This is
Yes.
only listing one, but...
It's only one property.
Right, 155, yeah, it's one property.
It was on an earlier resolution early in the year, but that resolution didn't have the proper calculations in it, and this is just correcting a mistake that was made earlier in the year.
It's 100 Executive Drive. You know, there's multiple buildings back there.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
unfortunately, the mistake was originally made in our favor, and this one isn't.
Fortunately, the mistake was not against our favor initially.
Any other questions on resolutions?
No.
No.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk?
Okay. Oh, so I can just...
Oh, wait, I lied. I have.
Oh, wait. Did you just say you lied?
Oh, not lied, I misspoke. Resolution 10317, I wasn't here, that was the meeting I missed when I believe you originally approved it. I could still vote for the amendment, correct?
Yeah, it's just a time
absolutely.
extension.
Yeah, that's
This
what
is
I
just a
thought.
time
Okay.
extension.
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. Okay, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The consent agenda is implemented. Okay, so we have Ordinances on second and final reading. 2508-17, calendar year 2017 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank. Is there a motion to introduce on second and final reading?
So moved.
Second.
Councilwoman Castellino?
Yes.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Guarino?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Council President Kukoviac?
Yes. At this time, for all ordinances on second reading, we have a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak, please raise your hand, be recognized by the chair, and you can come to the podium. Is there anyone who'd like to speak on this ordinance? Please raise your hand. Seeing no hands raised, I close the public hearing. Madam Clerk?
Is there any comment amongst your colleagues?
Let's see. We actually
every
discussed
year,
this at
yes.
length at the last council meeting.
Yeah.
It essentially, I don't want to paraphrase Mr. Gross, but essentially has no effect, but could have an effect in the future. It basically is leaving us.
It generally has no effect. This year, actually, it is required.
Oh, okay.
It's just, usually, that's what I usually say most of the year. This year, we do need it in order, based on the budget as introduced.
Okay.
Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 2508-17?
Second.
Councilwoman Castellino?
Yes.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Guarino?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Council President Kukoviac?
Yes.
Okay. 2509-17, an ordinance creating a reclassification and salary schedule of certain Township of West Orange employees, setting forth their titles, classification, and salary ranges, and adopting a salary guide, and establishing employee status as a Township employee under the guidelines of the New Jersey Department of Personnel. Is there a motion to introduce on second and final reading?
So moved.
Second.
Councilwoman Castellino?
Yes.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Guarino?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Council President Kukoviac?
Yes. At this time, we will have the public hearing on ordinance 2509-17. If anyone would like to speak, please raise your hand, be recognized by the chair, and come down to the podium to speak. Is there anyone who would like to speak in the public hearing for ordinance 2509-17 on second reading? Please raise your hand. Seeing no hand raised, I close public comment. Is a public hearing. Is there anyone up here on the dais who would like to speak? I can't remember if we discussed this last council meeting.
I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
housekeeping.
And what's the, this,
It's a little bit of housekeeping, a little bit of creating a entry-level position for our code enforcement department. That's pretty much it. Like I said, the housekeeping is just correcting titles. Reversed. Nothing.
Thank you.
Nothing too dramatic.
Thank you.
Nothing to see.
Okay.
Madam Clerk?
Is there a motion to adopt 2509-17?
So moved. Second.
Second.
Councilwoman Castellino?
Yes.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Guarino?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Council President Kukoviac?
Yes.
Okay.
Both ordinances have passed.
Yes, they have. No ordinances on first reading, and now pending matters, new matters, and council discussion.
Is there anything my colleagues would like to discuss?
I just want to bring something up to Mr. Sayers. I just want to, no, that's okay. No, I just wanted to commend our firefighters. I saw that there was a few of our guys saved, I guess, a leg of a sanitation worker over the weekend. Yeah, very, very
tragic.
Quick response.
What happened, Mr. Sayers? Could you...
Truck,
the
garbage truck, the gentleman's leg got stuck on the truck, and our guys,
Yeah, he was dumping stuff in, and his leg slipped in, and he...
Yikes.
yeah, God bless him, he's okay. Always. Oh, I do have something to bring up also. High school graduation this year, as I'm not sure if most of you, if you heard yet, but Cody Arena is being renovated. So the high school this year will be having graduation ceremonies on the high school campus on the 22nd. So I just Well, I know they're very thorough. They're working with our police and fire safety. I just want to make sure we have enough notices go out, because we see the crowd that comes to the arena for graduation. So my concern is with the neighbor. I know we've had big events before, but I believe they're having graduation at 6 o'clock, and it's traffic hour, so a lot going on there. I know you're very thorough and whatnot, but I just want to make sure the neighbors are noticed as well, because you may not want to go home that night if you live close by. Go out to dinner until it's over. But
It's like 4th of July.
yeah, it's just like having 4th of July. So I just wanted to see if we could get notification out to the residents for that night.
I'll talk with the police chief and make sure. I know the board was putting out some notices, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. I know they're having collaborative meetings, and they're very,
You always work hand in hand.
yeah, they do a great job. And we'll just pray for rain for the students. I mean, not rain,
Pray
no
for
rain,
rain,
no
right.
rain.
No rain, don't say that.
Pray for sunshine, I meant. Sorry, the pain in my leg, I keep speaking tonight.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any other pending matters or matters for discussion? I think we have come to the moment of adjournment. Do we?
No, ABC hearing.
Oh, we can't adjourn?
No.
We can adjourn as the
Well, yeah, I
council.
guess you can, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can do that.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So, second.
So moved. Who seconded it? I'm sorry.
I second it.
Who first? I thought you.
Oh, I'm sorry, I made a
Joe
mistake.
did. Yeah, Joe made the motion.
Joe made the motion.
Oh.
I mean, Council President made the motion.
Okay.
We wish everyone a happy Mother's Day.
Yes, to all the moms out there, great Mother's Day, and kids, don't forget your moms.
That's right.
The
Call
next
your
council
mother.
meeting is May 23rd,
Yes.
starting at 6:30, and video recordings of tonight's meeting should be online. You can reach it from westorange.org, and it's also on local public access television. Good night, everybody.